Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Tome by Jeffery, and this is book number 2 in the Juniper trilogy. Of course, the first was Juniper, which was fantastic. So, that being said, I'm going to read the synopsis, and then I will give you my thoughts on Tome. Here we go. Another dark chapter in the history of Juniper unfolds. Juniper Correctional, jokingly abbreviated to JC, a dark jewel in the crown of the god-awful American prison system where the very worst of Juniper rot for life sentences that seem to stretch forever. In this hell on earth, it's hard to tell most days who is worse, the inmates or the corrupt guards that enact the will of the monomaniacal Warden Fleming. Fleming is a fallen star, once bright-minded leader who turned the prison around, now hiding a terrible secret eating him away from the inside, a secret he would do anything to cover up. But Fleming has problems that threaten to unveil his secret. There's a killer among those housed at Juniper Correctional. Inmates keep turning up dead, murdered in ungodly ways, but nobody knows how or why. The only thing that connects them is a nameless book from the prison's library. However, there is one ray of light. Frank. Frank isn't like the other guards. Frank still sees the good in people and is trying to make a difference, to save those souls he can from the darkness in their own hearts. What Frank doesn't realize, however, is that the darkness is real, and he's about to see its true power. Okay, so spoiler alert. First off, I'm going to tell you flat out, this book is 5 stars. All right, and deservedly so. I actually contacted Jeffery on Instagram, and I told him, I said, hey, look, I said, this book is every bit as good, if not better, than Juniper. Actually, I didn't word it quite like that, but I let him know that, like Juniper, this book is a 5-star rating, or 5-star book. I cannot wait to see what he does with the 3rd book. And, and he said, that's great. He appreciated it. He said, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the book. Well, the thing about it is my thoughts are all over the place with this book. I'll be thinking about one thing with this book at one moment and another thing with another, but one of the things I told him was that not only is this book terrifying, because there are ghosts, there are demons, whatever you want to call them. There's this book that is just like pure evil. I mean, this is like the book of pure evil that even Todd would want to stay away from. And if you watch Shudder, you might understand my reference on that. But also, the thing about this book that makes it even more terrifying is that there is such rampant racism, segregation, corruption within the walls of this prison, that it makes it just even more terrifying than the ghost or the demons or this mysterious book. That makes it even more terrifying. All right. So to put those two things together, there is not a single moment in this book where there's not some air of menace. There's not some air of dread, some air of death throughout this entire book. And like I said, this is a sequel. The sequel, the 2nd book in the Juniper trilogy. And in that book, Juniper, it was talked about the town. So now in this, we talk about the prison. But the thing about it is even within this prison, you can just feel the shadow of this town of Juniper over this prison. Even though I believe in the first book, the prison overshadowed. Kind of, you kind of knew it was there. Kind of overshadowed Juniper itself. But now you've got kind of like the opposite. You can feel the menace. You can feel the dirt and the grime of this town of Juniper. All right. Now, when I say this book is full of racism, I do not mean that Jeffery is a racist. He is not. All right. He is writing about a fictional town in the South. He doesn't say what part of the South, just in the South, the dirty South, if you want to put it that way. And first things first, I am from the South, all right? And he's right. There is Lots of racism in this book. And if this is a trigger warning, I apologize. So I'm going to tell you right now, trigger warning. I'm going to talk about racism a little bit. Not too much. Just saying that this is part of the book. All right. Just like I said, segregation. This town and the people in this town, especially the ones that are really well established in the correctional facility, you know, kind of like, well, my daddy was a correctional officer, so I want to be a correctional officer, and then my son's going to be a correctional officer, and then yada, 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 until we got a bunch of little inbred mutant pygmy correctional officers running around in Juniper Correctional Facility. Yeah, they're the worst, especially Officer Barnes. Officer Barnes just thinks that black people and white people should not, you know, coexist together. They should, you keep over here, I'll keep over here. And he's just a nasty son of a bitch. And of course, another person that makes it, but Barnes, Barnes is a smug son of a bitch. I mean, you remember what I said about Klein Leahy, and he does come through in this book. He's also in this book. Remember, this is a sequel, but it's also a prequel to events of Juniper. I hope I didn't confuse anybody, but it is, all right? But Klein Leahy, he is in the prison because, you remember in Juniper, he had just gotten out of prison because he beat the hell out of his wife to within an inch of her life. All right, this is him in the prison, all right? And just like the time that I said that he's one of those type of people that I would like to take up to the top of the very tallest building, push him off of it, and race down to the bottom before he hits just so I can see it happen. That's kind of the way that I feel about Officer Barnes. He's a smug piece of shit, all right? Pardon my language. I'm just, like I said, my thoughts are all over the place on this book, all right? And if I haven't really given you much of a plot of it except for right here, just exactly what the book is about is you've got this prison, Juniper Correctional Facility, and all of a sudden, all these deaths, very unexplainable deaths begin to occur. The very first one is this fellow that literally bashes his own brains against a wall. All right? And then you've got this fella that is a pedophile. I mean, and this dude is like the size of Fat Bastard from the Austin Powers movies. We're talking about big son of a gun, all right? Okay, what happens to this guy is just indescribable, at least in my way of telling it. And I don't want to spoil too much because it is just god-awful. I nearly lost my lunch, I mean, yeah, it's just absolutely disgusting. There is some really disgusting and gory scenes in this book, but they fit just so well with the theme and the narrative. But yeah, that's what it is. But there is this book, a tome, okay? It's an untitled book. Anybody that reads it, something happens to them. Something goes off in their head. They become possessed. They become, I don't know what, but bad things happen to them. And you got this fella, Frank, and Frank is a decent guy. Now, in the beginning of the book, he wakes up, and he's hoping he's going to wake up beside his wife. She's not there. She's left a note for him saying, "Hey, baby, I've gone for a run." And I hope I don't want to spoil too much about this, but it's not him, and the thing with his wife is not quite what it seems. In fact, it's pretty damn sad. All right. Yeah, but that's it. I really don't want what more to say about this book. It's just one of those books that just has me thinking left and right. Wow, this is just a fantastic book. All right. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to tell you flat out that if Ross Jeffery keeps writing books like this, keeps writing books like Juniper, then he has got himself a high place among the echelon of horror writers, horror authors. And I'm including Stephen King, I'm including Clive Barker, whoever. He has got himself a nice little place carved out for himself among those writers, among that type of writing, among the elite. All right. So yeah, Juniper is just I can't recommend this book enough. All right. Now I'm going to be doing a top 5 of 2020, and I told Ross, I said either this book or Juniper is going to go on that list, and because I want to keep it to where it's more than just one book per author, and haven't made up my mind yet, but this one is just high in the running. Okay. So that's it. I hope I haven't been too far around the world with this review. I hope that you've kind of understood what's going on about it, because like I said, I've been all over the place, but I can't recommend it enough. It's a definite 5-star rating. I might give this damn book 6 stars or 7 stars. I don't know. I loved it. All right. Just loved the hell out of it. Okay. And, that's it. This is going to post on Sunday at about 2:30 in the afternoon. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate we're coming to the end of the year, okay? And I just want to say, hey, thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel. Everybody that's stuck with me through a long 2020, stuck with me through whatever. I started this channel in 2019. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I've actually made some friends here because of this channel, and that's a big thing for me. All right. So yeah, you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right. The rest of your weekend, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.